I got another question for you guys. Are you guys ready to scream again? Today's review, I am going to be talking about 1997's follow-up to the classic Scream, Scream 2. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new, go ahead and click that like, hit that subscribe, and definitely ring the bell to get any update whenever I put out another mediocre video, because I can't wait for you guys to check them out. Like I said, today I'm reviewing 1997 Scream 2, the follow-up to the classic Scream. I was super ecstatic whenever I knew that there was a sequel to Scream. I fell in love with Scream, and I wanted more of it. So they came out with Scream 2 a year later. And for me, they delivered again. This one stars again Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette. Newcomers to this one are Timothy Olyphant. Also bringing back Jamie Kennedy, who I love very much, as Randy. And Liev Schreiber, again playing Cotton Weary. Opening scene of this movie, once again a great opening to a movie. Not as good as the first one with Drew Barrymore, but this one was pretty damn good as well. At the movie theater with Omar Epps and Jada Pinkett Smith's characters. Going to the cinema to watch the Stab movie that they made. That was a recreation of what happened in Woodsboro. So this movie's very self-aware and knows it just knows what it is, and it's very meta, and I loved the beginning. I did. Movie theater experience looked like it was one of the most fun times ever at the movie theater. I wish that I could experience a theater, you know, like that, with the costumes and everybody playing along with it, even though it was very serious, though, obviously, due to the people that died in the real story. But it was super enjoyable. I, however, thought it was kind of weird that the killer knew that Omar Epps' character was going to go to that particular stall to go to the bathroom and somehow stab a knife through one of those bathroom stall walls, which I kind of find very hard to believe, and I don't think that would have ever happened. But, very unique way to kill somebody, that's for sure. Jada Pinkett Smith, she's getting killed in the middle of the showing of the film, and nobody cares because they think it's all part of the act. And nobody steps in to do anything, so he's just killing her right in front of everyone else in the movie theater. I thought that was fantastic, and they don't realize she's actually dead until she climbs up on the stage and just screams and falls over right there, and she's died right there. Obviously, this movie has two new killers. Billy and Stu got killed by Sidney Prescott in the first one, so I really hate for anybody to try to kill Sidney again, because they're probably going to face the same fate. So this is another whodunit. We do not know who the killers are. Obviously, they know Sidney, so it's somebody close to her or somebody in her life. They try to go down the same paths again. The boyfriend, you know, the best friend. Trying to go down the same path of the killers as the first one, but this one definitely a little different. They're not. You find out it is not the boyfriend in this one, as much as they try to push towards it that it is. A surprise kill along the way. Sarah Michelle Gellar was also in this movie, who also played in I Know What You Did Last Summer, so I thought that was pretty cool that she played in both of those films. And I believe they both came out in the same year, 1997, so she was in both of them in the same year, so that was pretty cool that she touched both franchises. Her character didn't last long. You want to die tonight, Cece? Doesn't last long at all. Typical stab after a phone call thrown off a balcony. She's gone. Didn't last very long. But I thought that was a very surprise kill, because she was kind of a big name at the time, and to kill her off like that in the blink of an eye was pretty cool. But A-list celebrities were lining up to be in this movie because obviously Drew Barrymore was in the first one. They wanted to kind of recreate that and join in the fad that was going on. But they landed on Sarah Michelle Gellar, and her character was fine, but she wasn't in it very long, so R.I.P. to Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, Cece. Sydney's boyfriend in this is Derek, played by Jerry O'Connell. I did enjoy him. I like Jerry O'Connell. I think he's a pretty funny dude, so I did not have a problem with him. Especially when he gets on top of that table. I think I love you, so what am I so afraid of? Got the whole cafeteria clapping and shit. I enjoyed that scene. It was kind of, you know, teenage-ish or whatnot, but I dug it. I enjoyed it. But I just couldn't see him being the killer because he wasn't creepy or anything the same way that Billy was in the first movie. So it seemed like he was kind of getting set up to be the killer whenever he was at the party chasing Ghostface and got a surface wound. So the killer was kind of setting it up to make it seem like it was him. But I don't believe Sydney really ever thought that, to be honest. A good scene in this movie that I love is the Dewey and Randy scene when they're I don't know what, coffee shop or something, some kind of restaurant, talking about the body count is always bigger. The death scenes are much more elaborate. Anybody's a suspect. They're sitting there choosing who the suspects could be. Mickey, freaky Tarantino film student. But if he's a suspect, then I'm a suspect. Then Dewey questions him, and then Randy's like, hey, well, if I'm a suspect, you're a suspect. And he's like, okay, we're going to move on. So anybody could be a suspect in this film, because Dewey does come back, always there to protect Sid. Also, Gail Weathers comes back, because she's always got to be there to get the story. And she takes another slap from Sydney, because she's still on her bad side. They just think Gail's there just to get the story, doesn't give a shit about the deaths and the killings, but her arc changes throughout this film, and she really does start to care and want to find this motherfucker who's killing all these people. Carnage Candy! The core audience expects it. Good shit. Randy is one of my favorite characters, and the fact that he actually got killed off in this movie was crazy shocking to me. I thought he was going to make it through this one like he made it through the first one. His death was one of the most heart-wrenching deaths because I didn't want it to happen. I didn't want him to be out of these films. He was one of the most enjoyable characters. He was kind of the horror fan in us in a film. I loved the impressions he did. Everything he brought to the movie was great. And to kill him off was just, that was a gut punch to you right there. You didn't see it coming. And I wish they never would have, but I guess it helped move the story along, unfortunately, so bye-bye Randy, unfortunately. This movie then tried to kind of turn its focuses onto Cotton as the killer, because he seems to be always there. He's threatening Sydney at the library, he's kind of acting suspicious, but really all he wants is his 15 minutes of fame. Diane Sawyer, he wants to get his points out there that he was innocent. He wants his side of the story out there, but it's coming off as, hey man, maybe Cotton Weary is the killer this time around. Maybe he orchestrated the whole first movie to set it up to this one, but as the movie goes along, we find out that Cotton really is not a bad guy. Dewey in the Gale scene in, I don't know where it is, one of the dorm classrooms or something on the campus. It makes no sense. Like, they needed a TV and a VCR, and you go to a college, you just walk right in and, you know what I mean? They couldn't have went anywhere else. They go to the college, just walk in and say, hey, there's a VCR in here, and start watching tapes and shit. Makes no sense. Then they just start making out. Makes no sense again. And our boy Dewey gets stabbed yet again, and we believed he is left for dead. Blood's everywhere. He got stabbed multiple times in the back. We're thinking he lived in the first one somehow. He's definitely going to be dead in this one. Oh, as the movie goes along, we find out that he survived again. Ending of the movie, they show him getting wheeled out. He lives again through another stabbing in the back. He is like a cat. He got 9 lives. I don't know if Dewey can be killed, to be honest with you. The whole third act I really dug at the theatrical department when the killer reveals himself, and it is Mickey, freaky Tarantino film student, and really the only reason he is even the killer in this movie is because he is looking to become famous. He wants to be caught. He wants there to be a trial. He wants all the spotlight on him. The movie's made him do this shit, and then he's going to get off. So he really wants to get caught, unlike Billy and Stu. They didn't want to get caught. They were trying to set somebody else up. Mickey, not so much. He just wanted to be famous, be in front of the limelight. But they're always got to... He tried to pin the second killer role on Derek, the boyfriend, who was taken earlier by his fraternity for giving away his letters. He was drunk, hanging from like this cross-looking thing. So we're thinking, oh, he's the killer. Mickey tries to persuade Sid. She don't believe him. Boom! Mickey shoots him, kills him, so you knew he wasn't the killer. Said he would never hurt you. Then you see the cross go up, and you're like, damn, who's the second killer? Out walks Gale Weathers, and you're like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Here comes the news lady from earlier in the movie, and you're like, who the hell is this lady? Mrs. Loomis? Billy's mother! Yeah, Billy Loomis' mother orchestrated this whole ordeal, got Mickey on a serial killer's website, nurtured him, trained him what to do, backed his financing to get him to college and whatnot, set this whole thing in motion for revenge to kill Sidney. Mrs. Loomis kills Mickey, gets rid of him, so it's just Mrs. Loomis versus Sid. The revenge. She just wants to kill Sidney for killing her boy. And you don't mess with Sidney Prescott because she'll kill you. And guess what? She does. You just don't mess with her. You don't at all. Mrs. Loomis gets shot in the throat. Not by Sidney, though. Cotton weary. Cotton comes back. He comes back. He's a hero. He saves Sidney. He saves the day. He kills Mrs. Loomis. They help Gale, who got shot. She bring her up. And Cotton's a hero in this movie, surprisingly. And I dug it. Liev Schreiber should have been in this movie some more. Once again, obviously, the killer always comes back for one last scare. Mickey somehow gets up. Gale and Sidney blast the shit out of him. He goes flying. I love Cotton's like dialogue through this whole part. He's so comedic. Whoa! Everything he does at that scene is crazy and hilarious. I just like the way he talks. It's good shit. So Sidney, just for good measure, shoots Mrs. Loomis in the head just to make sure. Cotton also says, "Wow, that escalated quickly." That's what you're gonna. I don't know. He's just very entertaining guy. So they take out both the killers again, and Sidney, Gale, and Dewey live to fight another day. And will there be a sequel after this? You know there's gonna be. I will be doing my Scream 3 review very shortly as well. I'm not a huge fan of that movie as I am this one, but I still have a good time with it. I'd probably give this Scream 2 probably a 3.25 out of 5. Definitely below the first one, but still a great follow-up. And if you're going to watch them back-to-back, that's a pretty good 1-2 punch, I think. I do enjoy Mickey as the killer, not so much Mrs. Loomis. So far out of the killers, I like 3 out of 4, so that's not too bad. But let me know what you guys think about Scream 2. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Did you like it as much as the first one? Did you like it? Did you even like it at all? Or was it under your expectations? Well, I just want to hear your thoughts. It was a hell of a good movie. Have a good time with it every time. And I will see you guys in the next Scream one. So, what's your favorite scary movie? And have a good day.